This is the number one reason why you're not going to sell your domain name. Not going to sell it because you don't know this one reason. Hey, Chris Zuiker, Media Options, help companies to acquire the raw version of the brand. Work on some of the best domains on the planet. Check that out over at MediaOptions.com. Check out ChrisZuiker.com. Check out my daily podcast, my YouTube channel, all that good stuff. Anyways, thought for today, topic for today is this. This is the number one reason you're not going to sell your domain. And that is that you don't know who your domain attracts. So often we have some really good domains that come to us through Media Options, and the first thing I say is, well, hey, who's this good for, right? Who do you think your top customer is? And inevitably, it's like Amazon, IBM. It's like the big guys, Salesforce, all these companies that already have massive brands that already dominate their space. Okay, they already dominate the share position for the industry that they're in. And I said, that's not it. Why would they want this domain, right? Why would they want it? You think about the four strategies: brand, sub-brand, marketing, and defensive in nature. Why, are they going to start all of a sudden stop doing their brand and create this new sub-brand? I said, that's not likely. I said, look at their history. Look at how they branded. Look at how they go to market. They're not going to, this is not going to be a brand. It's not going to be a sub-brand. It's not going to be a marketing campaign domain name. Could be defensive, but defensive in nature, most companies are only going to value domain name at pennies on the dollar because it's defense, okay? And because of the fact that they're never going to use it, they're just kind of buying it, holding it, and maybe to keep the competition from it. It has a much lower value than someone who's going to use that for a brand or sub-brand. Now, not to get confused here, okay? Remember the 5 buyer types. Okay, the 5 buyer types. The first one is the hobbyist. Now, the hobbyist, and I got to go back and look at my notes again, but in essence, it's like that $2,000 to $3,000, maybe $4,000. That's what they're going to spend on a domain. And, maybe it's $10, whatever. They're not really going to do much with it, okay? They're buying it. And, it's just the majority of, domain sales that are out there. And it's not a bad thing. There's people who make good money, okay? Getting these domain names that are the hobbyists, selling them for $2,000 to $3,000, maybe $3,500. And they just do that consistently every single day. But listen, a domain name that's going to attract, okay, that's, okay, I got to make my point right, because a quilt, let's say quilt.com, it's going to attract the hobbyists. They'd love to have it for $3,000, okay? But they're never going to get that, okay? So I'm saying, understand who your domain attracts and at what level it attracts. If you try to price your domain, and let's say it's some derivative, I don't even know, maybe you have Milwaukee quilt something, right? You're like, I don't understand, this is $1 million domain. It's no, it's not. They can get quilt.com for that price, right? You understand who it attracts. That's why most domains aren't going to sell, because most owners, they're just not honest with, what is that domain, who does it really attract, okay? Hobbyist, solo entrepreneur, slash local, okay? Then you go to regional, national, legacy. Then you go up to the Bible scalable, and then you go to your higher entrepreneur. Those are the 5 buyer types. Marry the 5 buyer types, marry with your domain strategy, and at least you have a plan, you have a thought, there's logic behind why you're pricing your domain in a certain level, okay? There's logic behind who you're reaching out to. If you're reaching out and your domain is once again, it's this, Milwaukee Quilt Design, co.com or something, and you're you don't understand, they need this, this big company needs this, you're wasting your time, okay? You're just going to get those negative responses back because it's not the buyer. You have to understand who your buyer is. Anyways, a little bit long today. I was going to try to do this a little shorter, but click on the link down below. Okay, it's my book, my new book, DomainNameBrokerSecrets.com. You can go over there and check that out. It's going to redirect you over to ChrisZuiker.com, a page. Download it. It took me 2 years to do it. It's a good book. Also I've got a couple good sites. I got a good page on my Chris Zuiker site, which domain name value, and I'll leave a link to a Media Options site as well.